Hard sci-fi can be one of the most challenging genres to bring to the screen, and with this being a relatively niche genre in the age of streaming, shows often find it harder to get the endings that they deserve. There have been many heartbreaking sci-fi TV show cancellations, leaving some of the best in the genre without a proper ending. That said, something that can often save a series in the face of cancellation is a show's fanbase. One great example of this is the way the Expanse's fans saved the show from cancellation, and some of the best modern sci-fi series may not exist without the Expanse proving that a hard sci-fi TV show that was not Star Trek could still be a success. On the other hand, some of the best classic TV shows of all time are hard sci-fi, and even if their science and technology might now be outdated in today's world, excellent storytelling does not age. The Expanse. The Expanse was nearly left unfinished, but after fans campaigned to revive the cancelled show just 3 seasons into its run, it went on to become one of the greatest hard sci-fi TV shows ever made. The Expanse covers space, politics, and a rising enemy in the form of dangerous alien technology in its 6 seasons, but while the show is visually distinctive and character-driven, what sets it apart from other sci-fi shows set on spaceships is its commitment to realism. Not all scientists are sci-fi fans, and even some of the best series within the genre use impossible science to drive the plot forward. However, The Expanse is an astrophysicist's favorite sci-fi series for its accuracy, as the series is grounded in real-world physics and biology, showing a realistic view of what society would look like in space. It accurately represents what G-force does to the human body, with this detail becoming central to some of the show's most tense scenes. Babylon 5. Babylon 5 was hit by a messy ending complication that could have derailed the show. As creator, writer, and executive producer J. Michael Straczynski had meticulously planned out each season down to the last scene, the news that the television network was being dissolved led the team to believe that Babylon 5 was being cancelled. Straczynski condensed the show, telling the story in 4 seasons instead of 5. This meant that when TNT picked the show up, the 5th season of Babylon 5 was used to wrap up loose ends. This was an incredible feat of writing and problem-solving, leaving Babylon 5 as one of the best sci-fi TV shows of all time. The story is a sprawling space opera that follows the staff and guests on the enormous Babylon 5 space station, which resulted in storylines about reshaping the universe as well as small and interpersonal dilemmas. The show usually adhered to the rules of physics and logic, presenting a world that felt real and timeless, even with outlandish alien species. Dark. Hard sci-fi is usually characterized by an emphasis on real-world logic and physics, even when spaceships are involved, but time travel is not usually considered a typical feature of the genre as the possibility is still largely considered impossible. Dark takes this theme and grounds it in science and theoretical physics, combining concepts like wormholes and the patterns of solar movement to explain its central premise. Many great sci-fi TV shows use time travel in a way that often feels more like fantasy, treating advanced science in much the same way as the fantasy genre explains ideas with magic. On the other hand, while Dark's timeline is complex, it can be explained. The show breaks many of time travel's cardinal rules with characters interacting with their past and future selves, and yet the show has surprisingly few plot holes, fitting together like a giant puzzle and earning its 95% positive Rotten Tomatoes rating. Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica's use of real-world physics gives it some of the best action scenes in a sci-fi TV show. The show's defining moments, like the Adama maneuver, combine the courage of the characters with risky piloting techniques that still feel grounded in reality, which makes the stakes feel higher. A detail that some TV shows often overlook is the fact that there is no sound in the vacuum of space, while Battlestar Galactica makes this a disconcerting feature. While some may feel that the show is closer to a social story for its focus on humanity, social structure, and the psychological effects of war, this does not tell the whole story. The ships feel lived in, and Battlestar Galactica uses tangible everyday issues to drive major plots forward, including mechanical failures, dangers from hacking, and technological limitations. Fringe. When it first aired, Fringe drew comparisons to The X-Files for its procedural nature and case of the week formula, but it quickly evolved into an entirely different show with some mind-bending twists and a heartbreaking emotional core. John Noble's Walter Bishop flips his role as the Lord of the Rings Lord Denethor, and makes him one of the best sci-fi characters of all time. While the lovable characters and less fantastical locations set Fringe apart from other sci-fi TV shows, it is also grounded in metaphysical science, which makes it a staple of the hard sci-fi genre and a must for any sci-fi TV fan. The deep mythology is so carefully woven into the story that it allowed the show's format to change drastically without being jarring, and making Fringe an unforgettable sci-fi masterpiece that still holds up today. Orphan Black John Medland / copyright BBC America / courtesy, Everett Collection. Hard sci-fi can be intimidating for new fans, due to its complexity and in-depth science that tend to feel inevitable for any TV show in the genre. That said, Orphan Black is a perfect sci-fi TV show for beginners as it is easy to follow, character-driven, unusual, and still includes the scientific background that is a hallmark of hard sci-fi. The series begins with Sarah, who discovers her doppelganger in a station and assumes her identity. What follows is one of the most exceptional performances in sci-fi. Tatiana Maslany plays 17 distinctly different clones in Orphan Black, and while some are only seen in a passport photo, others are main characters who interact with each other, even occasionally pretending to be each other. This is an incredible